Oh, it's saying the
Heard
meeting is
that.
recorded.
Okay, we're recorded. Okay. So, hello, welcome back again after the first failed attempt of trying to do this podcast. We did a full podcast and it was really, really good. It was, trust me, you've got to trust us, guys, right? But for some reason, it didn't record. So we're back again. That was the warm up, and we're
That
going
was the
again.
moment.
How are we? How are we doing, guys?
Yeah, that last one was amazing. There was like fireworks, there was dragons, there was fucking
Yeah,
cannons, there was everything. It was crazy.
production
Nudity,
value was
sex, everything. Absolutely
yeah,
brilliant.
nudity and sex as well.
Yes, yes.
Yes, both.
I'm
Okay,
Yeah,
good, man. I'm good.
how we doing, man? How's your week been?
Wow.
ladies first.
Ladies
Oh,
first.
Jack,
Oh,
you better
Sarah.
go first. I'm joking. So I start my training week on a Wednesday. So I'm always like, what is a week? And I think as bodybuilders, right, like we literally do, generally speaking, a lot of the same stuff every day. So a lot of the time I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what day is it and who am I? But we're groovy. We're groovy. Good training session today. I've got my broccoli down there to eat at some point, so we're fucking vibing.
Just broccoli.
Broccoli, and I've got a vegan protein pancake. So I'm basically right. Hold off. Now, I used to have vegan protein because from doing so many preps, I have a
Yeah.
sensitive GI.
So
Yeah. Okay, good. Because when I say vegan, people are like, huh. But anyway, I've got like fucking 5 kilograms of vegan protein and I hate throwing stuff out. Now, I don't actually like it that much anymore, but I'm hell bent on fucking eating it. So it's egg whites, vegan protein in the
That's
pan.
it. That's it. Just not wasting food at the end of the
I, I
day.
can't. I can't fucking waste food.
I'm the same. It's like if I have like that little bit of chicken or whatever, I'll just keep it in the pack, like a full 2 kilo pack with like a little bit of chicken at the end. You know, I'm like, I'll just add that. And yeah.
yeah, I've got like protein serves in my cupboard that I'm basically growing potatoes out of them now because they've been there that long. They just composted.
You know when they sprout all them little bits of
Yeah,
potato.
Oh yeah.
yeah, go on.
Hey.
But no,
Um,
saying that with your the last time we spoke, I've switched everything over to vegan protein powder, and honestly, massive difference. I knew that was the case anyway because I was having gut issues and all that again, but switched over since the last time we spoke, and I haven't had a bad shit once.
That's
Well,
tremendous.
this is the thing is as well. I was actually going to do a solo pod on this digestion, GI.
Hmm.
Like I feel like we evolve over the time of being bodybuilders, but I speak to so many people, I have so many consults with people that haven't like they go for one shit a week and they're bloated all the time, like and they're like, I don't know what it and
I
I think
blow up.
yeah, but when you fine tune it, you sort of forget that there's still people like people maybe listening that are like, yeah, it's quite hard to eliminate, etc., etc. And we also have emotional ties to eating certain foods
Uh,
sometimes.
yeah,
That's it. That's it. I think it's crazy how much you like monitor your shit when you bodybuild, and it's like when you have a good shit, it's like yes, box ticked. You know, I've done a solid there.
proper solid.
Literally.
I this prep just gone actually. Completely omitted whey. I just took it all out just to see if it would be any different, and no, it wasn't. It was exactly the same.
Okay.
I thought, oh god, I'm going to show my age here because I've just turned 39. In fact, I turned 39 on Friday, so it was my birthday,
Woo!
and I thought that maybe it's like something I'm eating or whatever, but I just think that it's my age. My midsection isn't as good as it was 10 years ago. I think that's the thing.
I
I don't
feel
know
you,
if you can
bro.
agree. I don't know.
I am. I'm 40 in 4 weeks, mate. So don't worry. You're not the
It's all
oldest.
your birthdays, Jack as well.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't know what it is, right? I was exactly the same up until like 2 years ago. I just started having so much issues with my gut, and the only thing I can nail it down to is just replace it. I mean, to begin with, I was like just like you did, just cut whey out altogether. So did you just like add other sources of protein rather than just, or did you add like vegan whey, or did you add anything else, or just like more chicken, more beef, whatever? Was that what you did?
Yeah. Completely get rid of it. So normally it would be post workout, be whey, and then some sort of fast acting carbohydrate. But instead, I
Yeah,
just got rid of that meal and
yeah.
just had chicken and veg rice. You know.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was having my cream of rice with just a chicken breast, and it worked. Obviously not together, but I did that for a whole long time, and it was.
But the difference with you is that you say that you actually had issues. My issue isn't necessarily. I just think my midsection is bigger than it was 5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, I think it does come over time, but also just pushing up food as well in the off season. Obviously, you're a big guy, right? Like you need a lot of food. So I think that's going to be the fight for you is just pushing food and trying to keep that midsection tight. It's like that middle line. I find that's what expands because a lot of people go, that's loads of growth. That is a growth stomach.
Growth hormone.
What was it?
Yeah,
it's either growth hormone or insulin. They always say, and I don't use either. I don't do either.
What was in your shake? What was in your shakes before, right? With like the 1,500 calorie shakes. What was in that big blender of yours that you just chugged down?
Oh yeah. Well, that's what we spoke about. It would be like 100 grams of oats, 60 grams of whey, about 5 eggs or however many eggs I can handle, about 50 grams of peanut butter. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think they were like 1,200 calories. That's what they were.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And do you know what? Like, it's not like my midsection's bad. Like if you guys know my physique, my midsection's all right, but it's not quite what it once was. And I think that's what I was trying to change with the whey. But yeah, no change. I look the same.
I do. I've spoken to a fair few male podcast guests who have said that, a bit like what Jack was saying, with once they've done X amount of quite big push-ups, even one, and they've taken it past in a growth phase that they would have done previously, that they notice the thicker midsection and that you don't get the same as much over time of doing, because of course we just do prep off season, prep off season. So yeah, for sure it's a thing.
Yeah, and you know what? With me, it's when what I notice most is that I've got to control it more.
Yes.
So if I just relax, I've got this little bit like from, let's say, between my cock and my belly button. It's just a bit more protruding than it once was, and I have to actively think, especially like in the quarter turns, I have to really crunch it. Whereas previously it was easy. So that's what I would say.
No, that makes sense. And there could be something to be said for doing heavy hip hinges as well. So I remember having this discussion with AJ, and he says one of the reasons why potentially my waist might have kept a little bit tighter is I've never really hip hinged because I haven't been able to because my back's a bit dodgy.
Same, mate,
yeah. So it's you see these thicker waists that with people really going for it on their hip hinges, and you see a lot of pros. They're very conscious of it now to really minimize the weight that they are using whilst they are hip hinging so they don't grow their obliques essentially. That's the big one.
Yeah, I think when you're bracing into a belt, you're actively thinking about you're expanding your midsection right into the belt, and that can potentially over years can have a problem.
And I think this is why you see some pros wearing waist trainers. It's not like they make your waist smaller. It's just that it does keep you more accountable to your waist control, just more, conscious of it and just not, letting it hang out.
Well, could there be an argument though? Could there be an argument that the waist trainer is preventing you from doing it yourself and might make you get lazy? I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose, but like you won't be able to have that waist trainer on if you're heavily bloated or you're heavily pushing.
I was going to say, if your stomach's protruding, then you're going to be struggling with it anyway, aren't you?
Also, I've heard before, like, you don't get to wear your waist trainer on stage. So a bit like what you're saying there, Ryan, it's like you do have to be doing this within things like vacuums and your own work as well. And with a waist trainer, I've always thought, set a certain amount of time per day rather than, I think quite a lot of girls or maybe bikini girls get addicted almost to wearing the waist trainer like for fucking 8 hours a day. And it's just, I don't believe it's necessary.
I think in the off season, with the amount of food that I've got to consume, as you say, like I've got to push my food up like 6, 7, 8,000, whatever. That waist trainer is not happening. It's fucking. It will end up, I don't know how that will end. That will end in some sort of explosion this way or that way. I don't know.
Muffin top, both ends.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing as well with the male categories, when we're looking at the more muscular route, like we're seeing fucking freaks on stage that are so big. So you're obviously pushing all this food and it doesn't just go to where you want it to go. So of course, the abdominals are a muscle as well, right? So,
That's it. I think It's I think this is where when you get heavy, if you can, just minimizing the volume of food that you're eating and just minimizing, well, try to grow in as little amount of food, really just staying on the leaner side. It's leaner side. That's one of the things I'm going to be exploring with this push up that I'm going to be doing now is just really just not having, the big off meal plans. I just marginally increasing my weight and just keeping it nice and tight and just try to sort of recomp as I go up. This is something I've been looking at.
I think it kind of ties into what we just said. How well do you grow as a bodybuilder isn't what you can put in your mouth, it's what you can digest, right? I've
Sure.
absolutely done off seasons where I've gone up to like 8,000 plus calories, and again, it's going to sound fucking disgusting, but you just shit more, and
Yeah.
there's a tipping point where it's like this is beneficial, this is okay, this
Yeah.
is now not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
It's easy to get into the mindset of as well. It's like, right, but okay, I need to grow more. I need to eat more because I'm not my weight's not going on. And
yes,
if your digestion's off, you're essentially just wasting whatever you're putting
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
But again, your midsection's just going to shit, basically. And I think we've been guilty of that in the past. A lot of us have. I definitely have. It's like, okay, for some reason I can't get past this weight. I need to carry on eating. I need to carry on. It's like I'm just getting more bloated. I'm just eating more shit food. It's like, nah, I probably need to pull back. And I think
Weirdly
when
for me,
digestion
I'm not.
goes, it's
Sorry, Jack. Carry on.
I was just going to say, I think when your digestion goes, that's going to be the indicator of like pulling back. And I know some people are like, well, you've got to have a little bit of give with certain things. Not everything could be ideal if you're pushing hard. But I think digestion is going to be one of those overlooked ones for a lot of people when it comes to just staying with that ability to grow, but also just keeping just tight in the off season.
Yeah, just going to say digestion was one of the biggest things for me in 2024. It was the only reason that, coming off the competing side of things, I never really made a big push. The only pushes I did was when my body was actually ready for it, when I was getting hungry every time. I was increasing the food weekly and I was never pushing it. And that was because my digestion was, still taking its time because I went through a lot of shit in 23, early 24 with my digestion. I was having issues, I was hospitalized, all this shit. And I was really kind of wary of not pushing things too much and putting too much strain on my system. Obviously I'm older as well. So in 24, after the kind of show season and all that, I never really, really pushed it. I just kept increasing only when I needed it. And I was getting hungry every week. Obviously, it was increasing the food. So I never went to the point where I was pushing to the point where I can't physically eat anymore, where I was like obviously shoving things down. I never did that. And I think that was one of the differences I've done, this recently than I have done over the years. And it made a difference to my physique as well, I
so,
think.
Yeah.
so on that note, then I think it'd be good to have everyone's opinion on this one, right? So some people watching this who are younger, a little bit less experienced, right? If they're in a growth phase or an off season and they're not seeing their body weight go up all the time, let's say week on week, just incremental. If that's not happening, do you believe that growth is still possible, even though that's not happening?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
100%. I think this is where you rely on the performance. The performance is going to tell a lot because if your weight's not going up and your performance is still trending upwards, then that's going to be it's telling you that you're going to be growing. It would be a different story if there's no increase of performance whatsoever.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like because I said this to Jack, I'm like close to the heaviest body weight I've ever been as a bodybuilder for like 14 years. But it's like almost a fight to keep it there. So even if I did like an extra 2K steps in a day because I walk everywhere, it's like it can just tip down and I'm on the same food. And it's like fighting for it. But now I'm at this point where I'm like I feel like I'm marinating. I'm marinating like nice meat. And I'm just
Yeah.
like I'm happy. I don't feel that desire or need to be like, oh, I'm just gonna smash more food. Again, this can come with maturity because I feel personally as a female, when I first started out and I had fuck all muscle, I'd see other athletes like females 3.5K calories, and I'd be like, what am I doing wrong? Why don't I get to have that many calories? My first few off seasons were like 2K, right? And I'm like, I'm fucking starving all the time. I don't get to have much, da da da. but you gain more muscle, you gain more maturity in the sport, you do more of the cycles, and then now I can go up to like 3.8 is the highest I've been. But I know that females do find that, but there might also be males. It also comes to your background as well. If you were maybe heavily overweight before bodybuilding, like that's a consideration. So there's lots of things, but I feel like you have to focus on your own shit, right? Rather than fucking comparing to everyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I think there's also something to be said with how people peak as well. I think that could ruin people's digestion because you see a lot of people they'll go from eating fuck all and then they'll slam in shitloads of food and orals at the same time. And I've heard some stories where people are just in hospital because the digestion is just not right. I mean, I suppose it's similar to absolutely slamming food down when you finish prep as well. You're just starting off in an unideal thing because I think once your digestion goes, it's very hard to get back, especially when you're growing. But yeah, I think this is why I'm a fan of linear loading for the show, just gradually if you can, just getting the food gradually increasing it rather than try to slam it. Especially if you are using orals as well, going to a show as most people do. I think that can make a difference with how your midsection is and just your digestion overall.
I just think that. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, Ryan, where you said, that people might be listening that are really early in their journey, post show, if anyone was to tell you, well, you can't eat that, don't eat that, because you need to be careful of your GI and you don't want to repopulate your gut with these foods that you haven't had. Not many people listen, right? So that's also tricky.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the last pod. I think we did. And I'll be honest, to repeat myself from the last one, like I wouldn't do. For me, I need the mental respite. Post show, I need to let go a little bit. I do.
Exactly.
And one of the things we said on that pod last week was one of the reasons why I'm still as in love with it as I ever have been. 11 years into competing is because I allow myself this mental reset. And if someone said to me, "No, you've got to increase by 500 calories after the show," I'll be like, "Fuck off."
I've never done that.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
Yeah, it's your mind needs a bit of a relaxation, and even people around you as well.
Yeah, I think I think it absolutely does. I think reverse dieting after a show is just shit.
Mate, I've never done that either.
Gradual,
Ever.
because you end up in the
Me
same
as well,
place
though.
anyway, and it's just
Just get it fucking
torturing
done.
yourself.
Just get it done.
Yeah.
I don't get the whole point. And I see all these coaches who have just started taking on kind of prep clients over the last couple of years, and they're all about this fucking like, what the fuck do you know about reverse dieting? Because honestly, mate,
literally, it works if you've got a small. Someone who's light, very quite light, or say maybe like bikini.
Yeah, when it's necessary, fair enough. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, but like trying to do that with bigger guys, it makes no fucking sense. I feel like you see a lot of people, they are staying too lean, and they're like, God, my performance is not coming back. Blah, blah, blah. It's like you do need to just get a bit of fat on you. Just get a bit of fat. Like that initial bump up of weight is good for you, and that's where you can relax a bit. And it's just making sure that you can close the floodgates. So you're not just like for months, because then you do get too fat. So it's like an in between.
I think a lot of people kind of use it as an excuse to kind of still remain in control of things because of fear, obviously losing the shape, not losing the cuts, losing the lines. And honestly, it's those people like I do worry about, because they look like they've actually got problems, and they're still in after the show and everything. They're still super lean, like shredded to bits. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Why aren't you just...
People struggle to let go. They struggle to let go of condition, don't they?
They really do. Really do.
I will say though, I think, Jack, you said about like maybe a smaller athlete could go into reverse, but I don't know about you. I know a lot of bikini girls, and they have got huge appetites, and like they're on, and they end prep on like 1,000 calories or some shit. We're talking like fuck all.
Why are you talking about me?
They end their prep on very low food, which we can mostly agree on, other than the outliers, right? So just bringing them up gradually, it's like, Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
So,
think
right,
there's a happy medium with that. Like, I think you don't want to go too slow, where it's like, oh, 25 grams of carbs this week, blah, blah, blah. You still want
Extra
that
20 grams of
initial bump
oats.
up. Yeah, you still want that initial bump up, but I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
the
it's
thing
you might
is,
have to.
right, doing that diet you just described that I did in my last prep, 1,000 calories for 13 weeks, Ryan. I fucking nearly died. And all the clen, all the fucking Yohimbine expenditure, all of
What
that.
do you mean? What do you mean 1,000 for what every week for 13 weeks?
No, I did a whole prep for it was about 9.5 months, but 13 of those weeks were 1,000 calories per
What the
day.
fuck?
Yeah,
Why?
Were you still responding after a few weeks of that?
I've got a post ready because my feedback was you were over dieted. I am not with Z Coach anymore, but I went to hell. Like I'm talking, I was fucked. I've now got a thyroid condition as well, which is helpful. But the moral of the story is, and
Fuck.
yeah, it fucked me up, mate. Like 10 months recovery. I'm not even joking. Like it
Mm.
was.
But I don't even understand what like, because I think we can all agree like maybe like your body will respond for the first initial week, 2, 3. After that, you're just fucked. Your training's going to go to shit. Your recovery's going to go to shit. Your sleep's going to go to shit.
Hormones,
Hormones,
everything.
everything is to shit, and your body will not respond anymore. So
Yeah,
I'm not even sure that like you know.
it made no sense. And the thing is, for me, just being honest with it, so I got to a point where I started to say to the coach, I don't think I'm matching bikini criteria here. I'm losing muscle. I'm so lean. I've got fucking glute striations, whatever. And he was like, no, no, no. So I had to make a decision in a very compromised state. And I went, we spoke about this on the last pod. I was like, well, this is the leanest I'm ever gonna fuck it. I was fucking like, I was like peeled. I was like, this is fucking cool. I've gone batshit crazy, right? So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And on the show day, I had 1,000 grams of carbs and nothing happened. Nothing
Oh
fucking
yeah,
Well,
happened.
yeah,
I
that's
was
a risk,
I've,
though, isn't
fat
it?
as fuck.
yeah,
I- My glutes were pancakes. It was fucking terrible. Anyway, because I was so lean, I could reverse out and eat a lot. Because
yes,
Mm.
yeah, yeah,
so it's
100%,
like
yeah.
What was the
I mean,
logic behind 1,000 calories a week, Sarah? Well, I mean,
I I believe, and I don't want to smack talk too much, but I
yeah,
believe that because I will do quote unquote whatever it takes. Like I will literally hop on the spot for 3 hours and eat grass if you tell me to, because that's what we're all like, right?
right.
And I believe it's because I was the first client that was of that nature, and it became a bit of a heat-seeking missile of like, how lean can I get a
Let's
female?
see what I can do with this person, kind of
yeah,
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
but
And on reflection, it was fucked, mate. It was fucked.
I feel like people do that when they don't know what to do when they're not responding, so they'll just increase the deficit. But what people don't understand with the deficit is the bigger it is, the more stress it will accumulate. So
Mhm.
you've got to make sure that you're in a big enough deficit to lose body fat, but not so big where you're accumulating enough stress where you just don't respond, because that will happen. So this is the issue you see where people are starting too aggressive or going really aggressive with content. It's like, right, I'm going to lose this weight fast. It's like, cool. But then you'll stall and then you'll go, oh shit, I need to drop it. Quite often, you probably need to go the other way. I see that
Yeah,
way too many times. You just need to go the other way. I've had clients of people where I'm like, okay, let's increase the calories. That, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And
and
they're like, oh
boom.
my God,
I
yeah.
look better.
Yeah, because they're not in as much stress, so the body can
Wow.
mobilize body fat better.
And do you know, it's not even just stress. I mean, stress is obviously a major one because it's going to start making you become a bit catabolic and whatnot. But it's also, oh fuck me, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Performance.
Oh yeah,
Not
perfect.
stress.
Not
Yeah, I mean,
stress.
well, your performance goes down, your output goes down, your thyroid function fucks up, and
Yeah.
so
Thing is, as well,
the,
I was on thyroid. I was on T3 and T4 for fat loss
that's
and
it,
for the
man.
prep. So it was 120 clen a day for like 10 months. 20 Yohimbine.
That's nuts, by the way. What the fuck?
The 120 clem, right? I mean, you're lean and you're fucking like you're crazy. I was sleeping 2, 3 hours a night, but I was
Fucking
like
rattling.
deranged. Yeah, I was like
That's
this.
it.
But I will say, and this is why I don't. I learned a lot from it. I learned my own capabilities. I
Mm.
learned what not to do,
Yeah.
how to
So
not.
was this quite early on? Was this quite early on, Sarah? Or was it like recently?
So my first coach I was with for 8 years, and he took me to winning Miss Universe, competing internationally, and he took me through my journey. He fell out of love with bodybuilding, and he's now a Warhammer guru, which is cool. And then I had a bit of space without a coach, and the coach that I was then with, he was like, I can coach you, I can take you further. Hit IFBB Pro, da, da, da. And I was like, oh, sick, I'll do this, and invested into let's do this. And it was my first time competing with NPC that season, so that was my seventh season, and I sort of regressed but didn't, because I got leaner than I ever have, but it wasn't the bikini criteria. So yeah, that was my feedback. You're over dieted. You need more
Yeah.
muscle.
Sorry, I just while I've got it, I remember what I was going to say. Basically, our bodies don't really want muscle mass. Like, if it can preferentially reduce some muscle mass, it will. So if you think about it, low food means worse training, which then risks losing muscle mass. But also, when you're losing weight as opposed to fat, that means muscle is going to be coming off as well. So not only were you not the criteria because you were too lean, Sarah, but also you probably lost it in the places that you wanted to keep it, right? You probably
Yeah.
want to have the delt pop and the glute pop, but that probably was shrinking as well.
Yes.
Yeah, your body wants fat because that's where it's going to be hormone. It's like stored energy, right? And
Yeah.
it doesn't want muscle. So
This is why you can't base it on the scale weight, because if you're like, oh, we're losing weight, that's fine, it's fine. Like, that tells me the coach is not looking at the photos really. And it's similar to what we just mentioned in the off season. It's like you base it on the scale weight. That's where people go wrong, because they need to see a change in that scale weight. And quite in a prep, you'll just go flat and lose muscle, and in off season, you'll just become fat. And it's like sometimes, especially if gears evolve, sometimes you hold the weight and things are working.
This is the difference
This is why
between
you've got to base it on
new age and old school bodybuilding preps and all that stuff, isn't it? It used to be more about visuals rather than metrics, and that's the problem with too much change these days.
Realistically, you could do a whole prep without the scales. If you weren't in classic, you don't actually need scales. They're just a marker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at Samson. He won the Olympia without ever weighing himself, because when he was with Milos, one of the biggest barriers was he didn't like seeing how light he was getting, or he had to be a certain weight or whatever. So Milos was like, right, we're not going to fucking weigh. And the would weigh after the Olympia or the day before or something like that. And it was just purely visuals, and that should come first. You look at the visuals, and then it's like, right, okay, what's the scale weight telling us with what we're seeing here? Because potentially you stay the same weight and you lose your body fat, but you're just holding on to inflammation, and you're just building that up.
Skinny fat.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I have clients who have like a fantastic week. They'll like absolutely nail training, get stronger across the board. Everything is just fantastic, great. But there's one thing that they didn't like, and exactly, the scale. The scale didn't do what they wanted it to do, right?
Yeah.
And then basically the whole week was a write off.
yes.
And you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like that. It's education, also personability, and you raise a valid point there. I used to think, well, it must only be females that have this, stigma around scale weight. But I've interviewed so many males that weigh themselves like 4 or 5 times a day in a prep. They get up in the night and weigh themselves. So it's universal. The thing is, I think when we look at scale weight, because it is a vector of potential quote unquote progress, we are high achievers. A lot of competitive bodybuilders that pour their life into this as such, it's like you want to see that's a measure of quote unquote progress, and you chase the fucking dragon. Like you say, I would never do that PD, then you're doing that PD. We have got that fucking personality. So you want to see that often because you give a shit, right? And that's the fuckery.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also scale weight makes people so let's say they weigh themselves before they've even looked at their own check-in photo or video. So now they're already gone.
And the check-ins like
Yeah. with those people, I get to stop looking at the scale weight. I'm just like, all right, we're just not weighing because, it can ruin the day and it can
Yeah.
ruin how they approach things and it gives them a head fuck. And sometimes you can rationalize and explain, but they're just so attached to that. And
Yeah,
sometimes they just need to see how much it does not matter as much as they think.
they measure their worth or the graph they put in that week all because of that little result, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Same
And this is
food,
why I
innit?
take the average as well. This is why taking the average is going to be the best. Because a lot of
Yeah.
clients will check it's like, I've not lost. I'm like, well, on average, you're down this much. It's just that you've stayed the same for the past few days. That's why we don't do a single weigh-in.
If you were to plot it on a graph, like it trends down, but you might have little spikes up and down,
Yeah.
up, down, but the overall trend goes down, right?
Maybe you just need a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
£5 shit.
Might be a bit, even if
It
you're a bit
happens.
stressed, like there's so many, and depending on who the client is, and maybe it's a new client or whatever, if they have a bit more sodium one day, if they're flexible dieting, like there's so many little things. Sleep was off, it was a bit hotter. Like there's so many fucking things for a scale weight fluctuation. And I think that you have to get to a point yourself, personally speaking, I was fucking tired of being ruled by a fucking number on the scales. Like it would fucking drive me mad. And I had to get sick of it. And I was like, fuck this. Now I just see it as a number, put it in my spreadsheet, done. But you just fucking wind yourself up so much about these things and you just go mad. You know what I mean?
It's difficult for like even more for women with obviously when it's time of the month and stuff. I've seen fluctuations in that scale be absolutely fucking crazy just in a matter of days.
Yeah. And you're like, but I'm sticking
Madness.
to the plan. And then this is the best when a coach is like, are you sure you're sticking to the plan? And you're like, I'm fucking sticking to the plan. The
Yeah.
scale weight's gone up. Why are you giving me a bad relationship with the fucking scales? Fuck off.
Yeah.
That's it.
Unfortunately, I've had too many people that are not sticking to the plan, though. They're like, yeah, I'm sticking to the plan. Yeah. But fuck off.
Why is
Do you know
it
what?
me?
Like,
I was born yesterday.
on the subject of numbers, I'm going to slightly segue, but it's still numbers, right? I feel like the same thing is true for like numbers in the gym. Like
Yes.
when you're chasing numbers in the gym, like mindlessly. I'll be honest with you. My first love before bodybuilding, well, I don't know if that's a bit of a stretch, but I was always into powerlifting and strength sports. I was really a strength guy, and part of me still gets dragged into it. And I'm not even necessarily any bigger, but my numbers were going up. So in my head, I'm progressing, and I'm like, but are you? My flat chest says otherwise. Even though my bench press was, you know what I mean? I'm bench pressing 5 plates plus for reps, and then I've got a flat chest. So it's like,
That's it. I've learned that I've been there of ego lifting or just trying to drive the numbers up and you're not connected well, you're not recruiting the muscle fibers effect. Like I've trained years and not had it back. And I had to fucking be weak again and relearn how to train my back so I can actually fucking catch it up. So I had to humble myself. And this is where I suppose when you obsess with the numbers on the logbook, that happens. And now my training, I a lot of what I do is just trying to mitigate how heavy I have to lift, really, just so that I can, because after picking up a few injuries, I'm like, oh, I want to do this at least for another 10 years, right? If I carry on training like this, I won't be doing it for another 10 years. I might.
this is interesting, man. This is interesting. I feel like a lot of people, even myself included at some point, you feel like you graduate to more. So you graduate to more food. I can't wait till I get to eat more food. You graduate to more gear. I can't wait to use more gear. I have clients that are like that, genuinely. I can't wait to lift more weight. But in actuality, it's better to use less of all of the above.
Yeah.
If you can get really fucking good with low food, low weight, low gear, like it doesn't get better.
That's
doesn't
it.
get better. Yeah.
That's it. It's this the old saying. It's like get the most out of the little as possible.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why that keeps being said over time. It's because it's true. And you can hear it, but it doesn't settle until it's a 3D lesson and you fucking see in real life why that is the case. It's like, shit, okay, I need to get more out of the weight because fuck me, every time I try to lift this, I get injured. And it's like, why get injured on a weight that should eventually be a warm-up as well? So stop trying to rush it.
Not sexy.
It's not
Yeah,
sexy.
it's not like,
Boring.
yeah.
Boring.
It's like, but you want to, because I've been injured on stuff where, because I've tried to get there too fast. It's like eventually you will be there and then some. That's the plan, is to get to where you want to go and then carry on going.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you want to lift this, the fucking 60, 70 kilo dumbbells, whatever. All right, what happens after that? Well, you've got to fucking lift them every week.
Yeah.
And then find a way to progress. So if you go and fucking lift them and it fucking hurts, you're wincing when you're doing it. It's like, no.
You know what? Like being strong early is a blessing and a curse. It is, isn't it? Right? Because yes, it's fun, and yes, everyone around you is like, "Fuck it out, wow!" But now, like, let's say you're a 22-year-old and you're already like benching 200, squatting 300. This is a problem. Because what are you going to have to do when you're 32? Fucking 40, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That was me. That was me.
It's fun though. Like, nothing gets me fired up quite like a heavy set, and I'm sure you guys are the same. But
yeah, I lose my shit.
But with that comes the negative. It's like the yin and yang of life.
Yes.
Yeah, I fucking love it. I'm saying this. I still need to tell myself, right? Because I lose my shit. I lose my shit because I love doing it. I love going in. It's like last year. I was on prep. I was trying to prep, right? I had to pull out that one because I grew tits. But
I think all of us have done that on this conversation, haven't we?
Yeah. So I remember on the hammer strength incline, I was like, right, I'm gonna try 7 plates. Boom. Oh, that feels great. Next week, 8 plates. Yes. And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Stop doing that. It was great, but I was like, I'm prepping for a show. If I tore my pec then,
yeah, fucked.
By the way, 8 plates hammer strength. God damn. That's nuts. Fuck.
It was cool, but like, is that gonna be great? Like, if I tear my shit, it's it's like, why not get to a point where that is a lot easier to do and a lot less risky by being stronger, by having more muscle over time, instead of trying to rush to get there. You know what I mean?
Do you know what though? I feel like we're saying that it's not a good idea, but I'm willing to bet that we will fucking do it. We all get a bit carried away, right? And also, Jack, to go off on that, part of the reason why you love this shit is that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a conundrum that we're in. It's a
we forget that sometimes, don't we? We do forget that sometimes.
But this is why I love bodybuilding, is because it is a beautiful teacher of balance, right? Because you can't just go with no limits because you'll be humbled, right? But you also can't just be a fucking shitty, pompy, squeezy motherfucker, because you won't love it and you probably won't grow. So you need a bit of that. So I think having parameters in your training, it's like, for me, like, for example, I've put dumbbells in one because they feel great and I enjoy them, but I put them in as my last pressing exercise after I've done flies, after I've done this, that, the other. So I'm a lot weaker on them, but that's my new set point. So as opposed to trying to lift fucking 80, 90 kilo dumbbells, because it's so late in the session, I'm like, it's bumped me back to like 70. And I'm like, okay, but also do this slow as well. And I'm like, right, this gives me a longer run of progression there. And then I can still do what I love, because I love rate of progression. I'm like, yeah, if I could get to fucking 80s, I do this. I'm like, yeah, that's great. And it's going to be better for growth.
Yeah.
It's like trying to find that happy medium.
I try to get that. And what I basically do for my own training is I allow myself one, like, shall we call it, like, fuck it, fucking send it set.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, one set where I'm just like, I actually don't care if I quote unquote connect and like do it. So I'm just like, fucking go. Yeah. And then the rest of my session is very much like, okay, let's do this properly. Because I find that for me is the balance.
Which one will you track though? Which set will you track? Which one will you actually like make note of? If you mentally take note of, if you actually write it down, whatever. Which one will you track?
Both. So like the send it set, the fucking all in set.
SS.
I will still use that as my reference point. So if someone would say, "Hey, Roy, what can you dumbbell press?" I'll be like, "Well,"
Yeah.
So that's the one I'll use, right?
Yeah.
But then when I'm doing them properly, yeah. So both. You know.
Yeah, I'll do it as a treat, you know, as a one-off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just do a horrible
issues,
set.
by the way.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'll go on legs. I'll be like, right, I'm going to just do the most awful drop set. I'll do my set, a heavy set, and I'll just take a plate off one side and then do another set and plate off another side. Can I do that every week? No, but I just fucking love it. I used to do it. It wasn't great for my training because, you know, it would fucking fuck me up. But that's what I would do every now and then, just because if I feel good, I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. And then I'm like, I've had my fix. That's like a binge for me. You know, it's like a cheat meal.
Yeah, that's different. See, what you just described there is a bit of like what they call a widowmaker. You know, like absolutely kill yourself. Whereas like a big set of like 50-kilogram curls or something like that, like that's not going to kill me in the same way. Do you know what I mean? But it still was fun. I don't know.
For sure. Yeah, both, like, either. It's just the hardcore old school way of training. It's like loads of fucking volume or loads of fucking weight. It's like sometimes I want to do that. I'm like, I'm fucking Ronnie Coleman. Yeah, and then it's like,
question is, do you see that often these days? Or that's the thing. Do you actually see that even by people who haven't got no means of competing in the gym, just training? Do you actually even see that a lot these days? Not as often as you'd hope.
No, I don't think people enjoy training as much as like before because it seems too serious.
I feel like people put too many parameters on, so they never actually get to that point where we're all referencing where we sort of began from, where we just love training, we find the love of training, we fucking go in, we just find the most awful ways to hurt ourselves and go home and go, fuck yeah, let's do that again. And then we refine. You know, people are like, I'm scared of fatigue, or I'm scared of this, the alignment, or there's a better exercise. It's I go to the gym now. People aren't training with passion.
No,
and I'm looking around and like, where's the fucking? Why aren't you bleeding for this shit? Right?
Listen,
it's all about the. Sorry, right, go on.
No, you go, mate. You go.
I was just going to say, like, I see it, especially a lot in my gym. I see it a lot here because I'm obviously here. I see it myself, but the people are doing the whole time and attention thing. That's fine. It has its place in that. But you wonder why these guys aren't fucking like, you know, that massive fucking scary look. They're just like big baggy tops on and fucking bag of shit underneath. But
listen, I'm going to say it right now, right? If you're under 30 years old, you're not allowed to use the word fatigue. Like it should be banned, right? If you use the word fatigue and you're doing this, if you're doing this,
fuck's sakes.
Fuck
and the shakes.
Fuck. Oh, yeah. Do the face.
There's a certain performance psychology as well, because they're going and the muscles failing, but it's not, because if they were like, right, fucking send it now at the end of the fucking set, they're like, they'll probably be able to get a few more. But it's, I go into the gym now, most gyms, I look around and people aren't trained to failure or whatever. You make a bit of noise, people are like, oh, what's going on? Yeah. It's like,
and they're like, they're looking at you and you're
Listen as well, I've got clients, I don't want to name any names, but like I've got clients and they fake fail. They don't even fail, they fake fail.
Yeah, it's when they're like, oh, and then they go, poof.
Okay, so let's say they're doing a set of 12, yeah? Rep 9, rep 10, and they realise that they've only got 2 more. So, so they go, rep 11, and then they go, fuck off, I know what you're doing, right?
That's it, man. But why aren't people, why are the more and more people not willing to, because you probably agree, right? You guys we want to go to failure. We're actually trying to hold, like the conversation we just had is all about holding ourselves back. Why is that becoming more of a rarity? Why are more and more people not struggling to fucking hold themselves back? And it's like, they have to actually, you know, try to convince themselves to actually do a set to failure.
The emergence of influencers talking about fatigue management.
Yeah, and also social media with people being watched and people being filmed on putting things up online where you can see people's form rather than just fucking sending it, going all out. Everyone has to look perfect and execute things optimally and all that shit. But you know, you watch Branch Warren and Johnny Jackson train, you'd be like, shit, okay.
Yeah, do you know what that? Sorry, Jack. I'll quickly say, I think like the comment section is one of the reasons why people are worried, because if you put up a video where it's not perfect, you open yourself up to criticism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are now thinking it's better to be perfect than it is to put in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
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 But like,
Yeah.
I'll say this, right? Most people are too small and weak to worry about fatigue.
100%. 100%.
It's a fact,
Yeah.
right? Because they're not able to output enough to actually generate enough fatigue. When you get to a certain strength, right, that's when you need to place those parameters there. It's like, fuck, okay, I need to hold myself back here and I need to put something in place because this is fucked me up. You can get away with more sets. You can get away with probably the intensifiers or whatever when you're at the start of the journey and you're not outputting as much. And it's people don't realize that. It's like you've got to earn the fucking right.
Hey, this one's for Sarah. This one's for Sarah, actually. Given that you are a female, do you find that females tend to be quite obsessed? In my experience, they're quite obsessed with deloads. They love talking about deloads. I don't know if that's a thing that you come across yourself. I don't know.
I wonder if it is just female. I find I've got a shtick with because I get this. I try not to get on my high horse about stuff because I've had to learn. Like my training at the start was dog shit, and I've had to learn how to train hard. And deloads were always programmed for me, and I'd be like, I don't really know if I should be having a deload. Like, what am I meant to feel like? Now, when you're approaching a deload, like I have like a floating timeline for a block, and the deload is because my sleep starts going off, my hunger's suppressed. Like you start to pick up these cues within the mature athlete or whatever. Like you understand your own biofeedback more, and you can make the call. But deloads, it's like, and one of the sticks is in a prep when, and I don't know if this is females more, maybe it is. But similar to what you're trying to say there, it's like they're going to prep and the fucking training intensity on day one of prep, and I'm like, you still got body fat. Your food hasn't dropped that much. Like, why is prep an excuse to drop training performance? You should be going into prep thinking, I keep my training performance for as long as humanly possible, and a deload needs to be earned, in my opinion. Like you're saying, Jack.
Yeah, I just feel like, well, you said it there. You said it at the beginning of your training when your training wasn't very good. By your own admission, you were already programmed deloads. What are you
Yeah,
deloading from?
yeah, and I didn't understand. I was like,
What are you deloading from?
Joey.
I'll be honest with you. I've never had a deload, never a structured deload. I might take an extra rest day, but I've never had a proper deload in my fucking life. I've been training 21 years. I've
Same.
never taken one. Never.
It's either all or nothing for me. I'd take a rest or just don't even bother going in. I can't be asked to do this
I
50%
don't-
workload shit.
I don't do
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Like today, I was supposed to train legs earlier. My knees didn't feel it, so I'm just doing it tomorrow instead. That's it.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's it. That's it.
That's the best way to auto-regulate. I find, because if I have to go in, I've tried it. If I have to go in, I have to have a devolume session, put reps of reserve in. I accidentally send it, or I just
That was the best session ever.
And I'm like, God, I just
it.
keep myself in a hole. So I just have the time off, so I'm itching to get back. I find that's better. It's just having those
instinctive training, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
to learn
100%.
the desire to learn the body,
Yeah.
right? Like for me, we're creating our own masterpiece. We're doing it for ourselves. Let's play it straight. No one fucking cares. We need to fucking care. If you don't care, why the fuck are you doing it? And why are you calling yourself a competitive bodybuilder, quote unquote? And it's this, there's no urgency. And I'm not saying this for everyone, but I see this. It's like I hear fucking, I don't want to be detrimental, but young lads in the gym and they look like about 16 and they're talking about their cycle, 2 grams of gear. And I think, fuck me, I've got more muscle than you. Why are you running 2 grams of gear? It's shit like this. And I think, why is this happening? What the fuck's going on?
That's absurd, by the way. That's another subject that we can go down. But the idea I come across and what I've seen over the years is almost like people are looking for time. They want time off. I love this so much that I don't really want time off. Like,
That's the problem.
yeah, like I don't really want to take time off. And my thinking is, do you really love it that much? Are you taking it too seriously if you always need time off? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I agree.
the people who need to be pulled back, like need to be pulled back, are the people that will make more progress than the people that are just trying to push themselves. You know, if it's instinctively that you just write yourself off, right? And that's your, and you need someone to go, hey, come on, just chill out a bit. Maybe you're a person that over diets in a prep or eats too much in the off season or fucking just does crazy shit in the gym. That person's going to make more progress, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Rather than being overly conscious of doing too much.
Yeah, and there's I've got on those type of people, I've got clients that when you pull their food down, they moan about it, and then you've got other clients that when you pull their food down, they're like, "Fucking let's go, let's go."
God,
you know, and it's just it's a mindset, isn't it? It's a mindset.
When I had a coach, I remember checking in. I was like, right, I can have lower food. You can lower my food. I'm okay to lower my food. And he's like, we don't need to lower your food. I'm like, yeah, but I can do it. You know, I want to just let me fucking let me at him. I
need to suffer. I need to suffer.
Yeah, it's like no, just chill.
That's the problem, though, because we are a heat-seeking missile, and as I touched on earlier, again, this is another tangent in a similar mindset, breath. But that's why I say, quote unquote, I'll do whatever it takes. So I'm not sitting here trying to fucking say, oh, I'll do whatever it takes and be fucking cool about it. But there's people that will quite literally, and I've been there when I was very traumatized as a bodybuilder before I sorted my shit out. I would die for bodybuilding. Like I'm not fucking joking you. A placing was life or death. I don't see that now, and I'm not saying you should be doing this with a load of trauma and whatever, but I still carry that into a healthier mindset because it means so fucking much. Every session, everything I do. Like, shouldn't it be that if you're a competitive bodybuilder? I don't know.
You know what? I feel as though because everything's cringe now, right? And a lot of people find passion cringy. So if you're saying people will just mock anything that is like anything remotely passionate. You know, I get why. You know, if someone's like, I'm in the trenches of prep, right? People
go to war. Go to war.
Yeah, go to war, right? So I understand why that's like a bit. You're not really, but it's like, yeah, I don't think a lot of people saying that. Some people might, but a lot of people are actually thinking that they're in war and they're fighting in Afghanistan, having the face blown off. No, it's like they're just in the mindset where they're like, I'm gonna fucking dig. I'm gonna go for it. It's like, but people just don't want to. I don't know. Seem like they're giving everything to something because it might seem cringy to be lost in passion in a process.
I think though, bro, I think that sometimes it seems performative. So, so someone like you, I've seen you shout before your sets, but look at you. Like, you're a fucking insanely good bodybuilder. I'm sucking you off right now, but you are. Like, you're really, really good. So I feel like you've earned your right. Yeah. Whereas I think sometimes it's performative. Like the camera goes on and then they're like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Well, there's a crowd in the gym.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's a bit jarring. And also, I know I'm going to be a gatekeeper right now, but fuck it, I haven't been very controversial yet. So, if you're going to say the whole go to war in the trenches thing, you better fucking look the part. If you're of average size and you're of average strength and you're telling us how you're going to war, fucking shut up.
Seriously, this is my thing, right? About like what you're saying there about people doing that and they don't look the part, let's say it. But this is where I've had to, like, obviously being a gym owner and stuff. I don't mind people grunting, screaming, fucking getting it all out and that. I don't mind that. But when you've got a little weasel who's like fucking 10 stone wet in his baggy fucking clothes, making these really obnoxious, annoying, fucking screechy sounds. Honestly, I've had to go up to him. I've had to say, listen, mate, you just shut the fuck up, you do my head in. But then there's been another day where there's a fucking big guy and he's fucking chucking it about and he's really going for it, making a noise and people are looking. I'm like, crack on, mate. I'll get my fucking popcorn.
You've got to earn your stripes, bro. You got to earn your stripes.
I remember, so when I was training at strength, right, I had a mate who worked there, and he always used to get shit because of me, right? Because I would go in and I would train, and I would lose my shit before I do a heavy set, especially if it's a low rep set and it's a weight that I've not done. Because it's a performance psychology thing. I'm not doing it on any other set. I'm not doing it every set. I'm not doing it for every fucking rep, right? And then you'll have people that will be doing it with the warm ups, blah blah blah,
Every
and
fucking set.
everything. And then when they're told to shut up, basically, they're like, "Ah, Jack does it," and he would have to try to explain to them why that is fucking different, um, because it's like I'm doing it so that this doesn't feel like it's going to break me, right? My warm ups, I'm not doing that, and
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. So for a low rep set, I would be more like, oh, that first rep needs to be light. It's a performance psychology, but the high rep sets, I would have a more meditational approach, and I would switch it on towards the end, right? So it is completely for the actual performance. And that would be if the gym's full, empty, or whatever. I'd prefer it to be empty, to be fair. And so I'm not having people just give me shit or look at me weird because I'm trying to just do the set. I love to get lost in the set, but there are some people that are like, okay, cool, I can do that. I'll just make noise as well. It's like, no, you're
Yeah.
not
I,
actually
I
understanding.
just like what Ryan said about being, have earned your stripes. To me, I feel like people think I've got some sort of favoritism sometimes with people who are doing that who aren't. It's nothing to do with that. It really isn't. It is like you said, you've got to earn your stripes. You've got to at least do something impressive that's worth fucking, taking a second look or like, what's going on over there? But
I think again, we can blame as a lot of things. You can blame it on social media because I think a lot of times, well, like people, it's like that. What's the expression? Is it the expression "the horse before the cart" or "the cart before the horse"? Whatever it is. People are trying to run before they can walk. If you're not that big and not that strong, and you're shouting from rep number one on a 15 rep set, it's probably the wrong angle, right?
100%. But I didn't have to do that when I was starting out. I didn't have to do that when I was lifting a certain amount of weight. It feels fucking different when, say, like I was pressing like 40 kilo dumbbells and I had to go approach like an 80 kilo dumbbell. I'm like, fuck this. I need to get this right because this could fuck me over if I don't.
Mate, 100%.
It feels fucking different. And there's been times where I am like, I've come back from an injury and I'm working my way back up. I'm not making any sound because I don't have to.
it's almost
Right?
like, have you ever been a cunt though, where you've seen someone do it and they posted the setup, or you've seen someone do it in the gym and the next day you've gone and done the same, twice the weight and not made any noise at all?
I do that. I do that. I do that.
Coming out.
Hey, Mark, I do that, right? So if I see a guy go to a gym, if it's within a 30-mile radius and he posts it, I'm like, right. So I'll quickly Google where's that gym, and I'll fucking
No,
that's extreme. But fair enough.
fucking have a look at that.
That's hilarious.
Just little things that motivate you. I don't know.
Well, for me, especially for guys like twice my size, because that's not fucking hard, is it? But if I'm doing like twice the weight as him, not making the fucking absolute, not even whispering when I'm doing it, just the sound of my breath is all you hear. And I'm like, fucking have that, you cunt.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
What would your advice be to so if people are listening that are early on in their journey and they're like, this is what I say on my podcast, right? If you're getting triggered, it's a good thing. If we are triggering you, it's a good thing. But if you're in this space and you're like, I think I'm training hard, I always say you don't train hard until you train hard. But my advice would be train with, positive role models or whatever you want to call that. Get yourself in the game, start to and try and find actual bodybuilders. Now, I understand reality that's harder than maybe it is, to actually do that. But have you got any advice for people that are like, shit, that's me, to
I think
you go, go. No, you go, man. You go. Yeah.
I think, like you said, Sarah, it's like you've got to have that perspective there. And you've just got to be like, I need to find a way. Again, it's having that mindset. Look, when I first started, I was like, I want to fucking kill myself at the gym, and I want to find new ways to kill myself at the gym. And whatever I did before, I want to try to find another way to keep raising that bar, finding someone who was also crazy, or someone who was just a little bit further ahead, who competes, whatever, right? And they take it serious, will give that perspective. Or even like, there's been times where I've PT'd people or I've had my clients train with me, right? And all I've done is I've just stood there and I've taken them to failure and I've not lifted anything, no false reps. I'm like, right, come on. And again, you've got another one there. And it's just allowing themselves to believe that they can. So the mind doesn't fail before the body, because quite often that's the case. And then they get to a point, like I've had it where they've just been like throwing up and whatever. And all they're doing is taking a set to failure. And that's only happening because they're not accustomed to training that way. And it's like, oh, you train, it's crazy training. It's like,
So,
not
so
crazy training.
you're humbling them, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But all they're
But
doing
it's not.
is-
It's what they assumed was failure wasn't actually
Yeah.
Jack showing them.
Yeah. It alls because I'm not, because if I wanted to, I could go right, drop set on this, da, 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 but all I'm doing is simply just allowing them to go to failure. And I'm like, right, you've got it there, because I'm not trying to kill them off. I'm still wanting it to be a productive session. It's like, wow, this is hard. It's like, it's not. It's just how you should have been training the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
Lying, he's lying. He wants them to fucking die.
Because
I love it.
people associate, that when it starts to burn, you start getting that lactic acid burn. They think that's it, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
At that point, you've probably got another 5 more, probably.
That's why reps of reserves doesn't
Ego.
work for a standard thing in your training. Reps of reserve doesn't work for that reason, because you will massively misgauge it, especially if you're not very accustomed to training to failure.
Yeah, most people's three RIR is probably what their opinion of failure is, right? And to answer the question, Sarah, what would I say to people, like newer people, is patience, but not necessarily in the manner you think, right? Don't worry so much about trying to create your persona. Don't try and create your persona necessarily. Like, so I get guys at my local gym and they're recording every single set, but they've got no muscle,
Yeah.
and it's like, just wait your turn. Like, build something worth showing, then show it, as opposed to, I see like them doing like some flies with half the stack, and I'm like, who's benefiting from that? I don't really, do you know what I mean?
Lost in it. Like, that's the thing, isn't it? Because whenever I've recorded a set or whatever, I mean, it's it's so far and few between. But when I had the coach helping me with, for example, when I was building my knee up, I had a coach helping me with that, so I had to do some videoing of exercise. And I thought, fucking hell, I can't be fucked with this. I just want to train, and it was like, it really annoyed me because I don't want to. I just propped it on my water bottle. I thought, I don't want to take a fucking tripod to the gym, and like, I was just like, this is really putting me out here, and there's some people that carry it around the whole. I mean, it's like a little child with them.
It's part of their whole routine, isn't it? And as I say, like, it's fine, but like, build something worth, like, you just nailed it there. Get lost in it. Like, be so passionate that then that is what people see. Because I think people are going to be more inspired by how passionate and how lost in the source you are, so to speak, as opposed to just your bullshit sets. I don't know.
You got those lads who will do a set and they'll instantly finish and go straight to the logbook and write it down. Fuck, I've gone so deep into a set, I forgot how many reps I've done. Was that 7? Was that 8? What did I get? I'm like, fucking hell. So
yes, I really don't want to fucking. I don't want to go and grab my pen and paper after a set. I just that's just not me.
You need to do breath.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like, this is actually good advice for anyone. If you want to create a brand or just increase your online presence, as I say, people notice passion.
Yeah.
People really like fall in love with someone who like loves it,
Can't fake it.
Yeah, exactly. And as I say, we don't need to see someone who's 80 kilos, like, as a male, 80 kilos lifting fuck all weight. Like, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna be 80 kilos soon.
Right, okay. Not as a woman. Not as a woman.
But that's a relevant point as a female. Again, I try not to get too involved in what I see, but I'm lifting a lot more than quite a huge percentage of males in my gym. Now that worries me. That worries me because I
Yeah,
think,
it's
and
crazy.
it's like, and it's dumbbells, right? We're talking like bicep curls, and I'm thinking, what is going on here? That's what worries me, and I'm like, and then you fucking the noises start and that, but then they'll pick up the heavier ones when I exit.
Of course
And
they will.
I actually quite like that, and that's very egotistical. I'm fine to admit that. I like it. I like to go over and I think I want to encourage you to lift more because you're a man, right? I'm a fucking woman. Do the thing. Let's do the fucking thing. And
Do the
that's
fucking thing like
and
that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Sarah, I bet that feels good to outlift a lot of the males, though, doesn't
it really does get my ego going. Like
it?
there's a guy that trains at our gym, and he's like he gets hired to go and be like he shoots people and shit. Like he's been
Oh,
in the
shit.
army of his life and stuff. He's like fucking cool physique like this. He's like an old school gangster. I'm like, you are so cool. Anyway, he came up to me the other day. I think I voice noted you about this, Jack. It was a while ago, and he was like, "That's fucking proper training," and I was like. And he was like, that's why your physique's like that. And I was like, mate, my ego's going mad right now. Tell me more. And he was like, what's fucking wrong with everyone else in here? And I'm talking about males as well. They need to learn from you. And he just walked off. And I was like, my
Hey,
life.
did they? Yeah.
But it makes me feel very good. And I was the small female with no muscles. That is part of it. I
Mm.
fucking love it because it makes me feel so good. And I can't, deny that. I'm happy to admit
Hey,
that.
no, I think we'll all be bullshitting if we don't. Like when you get recognised for your size or strength or whatever. Yeah, of course. Like, of course. Come on.
It does. It feels good.
100%.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Especially, right? And this is another shtick of mine. When you don't do it for external validation, but when it comes from someone that is actually
Yeah.
worthy of the
Bit of
external,
respect. Yeah, yeah.
when it comes from the right people, you're like, that has given me a pep in my step. That is fucking cool. Let's
Fuck
go.
yeah. Because it's validating what you're doing is working in the process when someone else in the process, a peer, is like, fuck yeah, there's someone who's doing that. Maybe you look up to him, you're inspired by him, or just even someone who is on a similar level, right? If you're being recognized for something that you're passionate, you're giving all your time for doing the thing well, yeah, of course, that's.
Yeah.
Nothing
I
ever
think
wrong with asking some of those people that you do admire, or the person that stands out in the gym. Can you check my set for me? Can you check my form? Can you give me some
Yeah.
feedback? Just things like that make a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that actually happened to me not so long ago. It's the first time it's probably happened in 5 years. But a lad came up to me and he actually called me. He goes, "You're a big cunt," and I was like, "Cool, okay."
Oh, I love it.
He goes, "You're a big cunt. You're probably the biggest cunt in it. Would you mind looking off my set?" And I was like, "All right,
That's
cool."
cool though, isn't it? It is cool though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it
yeah,
makes
yeah.
you look at them completely different. Then you do have that little bit more, fair play kind of thing. Not
Definitely,
like, who's that dickhead? You're like, you know what, fair play to the lad. I respect him for that.
absolutely. Yep, yep, yep.
Be a
100%.
be a fucking student of bodybuilding. Like, I want to learn more.
Yeah,
14 in, I'm like, fucking give me more. Give me
more
more.
people need that. More people need that mindset. They need to be a student because nowadays I see, especially on TikTok, right? Notice such a fucking difference between when I'm posting the exact same stuff and I don't even use TikTok. I'll just post whatever the fuck reel I've posted on Instagram to
Me too.
TikTok, and the
It's such
comments
a load of shit.
and the comments are so vastly different. People will just go, "That's wrong," or "da da da," and it's not right. And
Yeah, but in
sometimes
their
I'll
opinion, it
bite.
is.
Yeah, but it's factually not.
Yeah, no,
And
but like I'm very
it's
much of the mindset. Like, if you look like that, then it's clearly not wrong.
That's the issue.
but
It
it's
can't be wrong.
crazy.
It can't be wrong because this is proof. It can't be. Like,
And I will say so, it'd be such, it's like pull down trains your lower lats. That's all I said. It's like, no, actually, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, and they're like, do some research. And I'm like,
oh, fucking
I
hell.
remember I made a video response of me just Googling what part of the lat does this train? Lower lat. Ah, you're wrong. Um,
It's like
but
people so badly want to be right. They so
Yeah,
that's
badly
it.
want to be right. Do you know what I mean? They're just trying to prove you wrong and get some sort of like social fucking I don't
That's
know.
it. They're just trying
Yeah.
to get a level, and it's like, again, earn the fucking right, but also what has happened to having that mindset of being a student, because I'm still in that place. I'm like, if I could just fucking learn something, you should ask yourself, why are you doing that? And what's wrong with going, how come this or blah, 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 instead of you trying to correct, you go, you are wrong. And da 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 da, and just trying to have this, I don't know, this arrogance about you. This is what I'm seeing more and more. And again,
Well,
it's like it's crazy on
Well,
TikTok.
would you say that, like, we know the answer to this already? There's no one really, really, really good doing that.
Yeah,
There's not. The people who are really fucking good aren't going around correcting everyone. They're just not. It always comes from someone either below or someone with a chip on their shoulder or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
We actually, this ties into what we were speaking about with panels and stuff. Even when we did the panel at FitX, that's how we know each other, guys. If you're listening, by the way,
By the way,
the Avengers came together at FitX, and we had about 8 people listening to us chatting shit.
it wasn't even that.
We realized we'd made the big time, but we sort of had a bit of a chat about it of in the days of like body power or going to seminars and things like this. Like you'd want to see those people that you're saying, Ryan, that wouldn't do this, right? They wouldn't comment and shit. We'd want to see those people as like, you know, whether you want to say idol or whatever, the legacies of the sport, the legends of the sport, if we got to meet them, if we got to see them train, you'd be like, this is sick, and you'd maybe watch JP while you're eating your core and all this shit. Like that again, is that there as much, if you know what I mean? It's like cliques and stuff rather than the respect for people that have been in the sport and fucking, done the thing.
Well, we said it on the last pod, so just to repeat that again, sorry for you guys, but for people watching, it's like we're oversaturated now, and that's kind of the problem, because 10, 15 years ago, there was a fraction of the people doing it, whereas now there's so many that you're almost, it's an information overload.
Yeah.
But also, when it's right there in front of you, people are like, do you know what? I could just go online and check it anyway, rather than when you've got something right there in front of you. Like, for example, you saw a big dude doing this and you were curious, but you went, I won't bother him. I'll just go online. I'll check. I'll listen to who I think is right online. Sometimes the best information you'll get is from a deep convo when you ask someone whatever you want to ask them right there and then.
Yeah.
Like, and be inspired.
Yeah, and I find, as we reference on the pod, it's like it's the people who are able to use social media to their advantage that get listened to. So they've got the best hooks or whatever it is. They can just do social media, not necessarily that they know what they're talking about. And because people who know what they're talking about aren't doing some crazy fucking hooks, or they're trying to work the algorithm, whatever the fuck it is, they're like, they don't get the. And people look at likes and following for credibility. And someone could be a pro or gone to the Olympia, and they go, well, they haven't got much of a following, but this guy with fucking loads of following and whatever, and he's got like really cool fucking style reels. I'm gonna listen to him, and people are just loud and confident, being wrong, and they're getting listened to.
But you know what though? To play devil's advocate, Jack. To play devil's advocate, sometimes someone has got a genetically predisposed big body part. So I've got a friend of mine, and I do another podcast with him. His chest is ginormous. His chest is ginormous. Even when he got,
get that.
He got incredibly ill recently. Well, about a year and a half ago, and his chest, and he couldn't train, he couldn't eat. His chest was still completely inflated, like huge.
Wow.
And someone like me, I struggle with my chest. That's just as a contrast. So an onlooker would look at him and think that he has nailed his chest training.
Yeah.
And they would look at me and say, oh, he's not doing something right.
Yeah.
But actually, it's the other way around. I have invested so much time and effort into,
Yeah.
And this is why it's like, has it been put into practice with other people? Because, again, just referring to, like, on the people who, the fucking small people telling me I'm wrong on TikTok, right? These haven't been doing this for a long time. And you've also not had clients. So it's like, what I'm saying is not only worked for myself, but for the people that I've done it with.
Yeah.
And there is your sort of case study, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
You know, is like this is now being worked for people with varying degrees of genetics, of varying uses of PDs, some people are natural. And if there is the same outcome, then yeah. And it's crazy how people would ignore that and go, and it's almost like people dismiss someone with muscle and go, well, genetics are gear. Genetics are gear. And automatically, if they disagree, if they say something they disagree, it's like, yeah, but what about the clients? You know, what about the other people?
Yeah.
It's like, nah, well, gear, it's all steroids, blah, blah, blah. And it's just this way of coping. It's like, well, how crazy? Because if you're going to obsess over studies, right, that's like one of the best studies is the anecdotal proof that this is working with multiple people that you're working with.
Yeah, 10 years of coaching experience and obviously 20 years of training experience. I feel like I've got a bit of an understanding. However, if it doesn't say it in a study and they can then quote a study to counteract me, then they're just going to feel like they're right no matter what.
It's crazy because the people who are looking at these stories don't even know how to look at them. Because I had a guy arguing me, who was like, this is said, this is a study about lat training. I'm like, yeah, but that's you're not reading that right, because that's not even disproving what the fuck I'm saying. That's just saying, you know, something else.
There's always limitations to studies as well, right? So who were the people doing it, and what were the conditions, and what were the food intake, and whatever. But then similarly, it's like Ronnie Coleman telling you how to get big legs. Like, I'm sorry, but that's kind of irrelevant for me. Like someone with the elite of the elite of the elite genetics telling me how to get big.
This is but if you listen to Ronnie, he's also like not giving advice. Like he's also, it was just like he trains hard, blah blah blah, and people should be savvy enough to go, right, okay, this guy's an outlier. That should, you know, people should see that. I'd rather learn how to grow my legs off from someone who has built them from nothing, rather than Tom Platz. Yeah, like I wouldn't listen to Tom, because Tom Platz says something like, "Oh, if you don't squat, then everything's useless." You know, it's like I'm not going to listen to you because your legs are fucking massive at the age of 70.
He is cool.
But yeah, he's very fucking cool.
Oh, I love him, but it's just not true, is it? Like, you have to barbell squat. Like,
I actually know. Don't you find
it's
funny? It's funny to watch these things, and like when you sort of know enough, you can watch it and be like, yeah, that's fucking.
Yeah, with a pinch of salt kind of thing, right?
Well,
like you watch Ronnie and you're like, this is fucking ridiculous, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Phil Heath telling you how to grow triceps. I'm like, yeah, cool, nice one. Like, it's just, but you like your life becomes a case study. Your whole life. Like, I've trained with this guy, that person, and we all respond differently.
Yeah.
So it's like, who's right, who's wrong? You know.
I have people tell me, you know, you need to do this or you shouldn't do that, and da da da. And I always say, well, it's working.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's all. Like that's and I think you go past that, like, because before I'd be like, why they question me? I'm not good enough. Now I've just found that with comments as well. I actually made a reel about this. You know, the direction of comments for my podcast and the heavily muscled females of death threats and fucking you're a man in a bikini and all this stuff. Yeah, cool story, bro. Now I put cool story, bro, or focus on your own journey. And I try and keep it very, because this type of stuff, right, even if it's training, as you said earlier, Ryan, you can put some training footage up and someone can pick it apart. That could really fuck you up. Like, that could make you feel really fucking shit, right?
Yes.
You know, maybe your body composition isn't where it could be. Maybe your technique's off, whatever.
Yeah.
And again, it's like we can't do right for fucking doing wrong half the time. You know, there's just these fucking keyboard warriors that are bloody wild. Like, fucking absolutely wild.
Because there's no consequences. Like, I'm not trying to be some big hard man right now, but in person, people ain't saying shit.
For sure.
Right? But online, everyone becomes brave as fuck. You know what I mean? And that's just this really weird thing that we live in this world where you can say things with very little consequence.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
I think there's that Mike Tyson quote, isn't it? Everyone's so comfortable with not getting punched in the face or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's the one.
Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, you're way too comfortable being a cunt online. Like, you're way too comfortable, because in person, you know. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be He-Man, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
like it's when, like you say with Jack's example, it's like, why don't you shut the fuck up? Like, what? He's got this physique. He's trying to put some fucking training footage out. Fuck off. Like, what is the point in half of it? And a lot of it is because it's behind the keyboard. But I mean, some of the stuff I've come across, I think, fucking hell. Like, what
do,
the
do-
actual?
do you know what? Like, the comments always get me, and actually, this is a question for Mark. So given that you're classic, have you ever come across someone assuming that you basically, how do I word this correctly? Because I don't want it to be about me, because the comment came to me, but I want to say about you. So they basically will insinuate that you tried to get that big. You didn't want to get any bigger. You stopped getting big just so you could be that big. Do you have people saying that to you, Mark?
Not really. I don't know whether that's just a me thing or not, because I've made it clear, I think, just from the way I talk and the way I train, that I've never been about that. But I've never had that question. No, not really. I've had people say, would you progress? Would you want to go further? Would you like to go to 212, or would you like to go to open and things? But never really, no, to be honest.
So the reason why I say it for me is that because I've got this bit weird physique where I'm sort of open, but I'm sort of classic. I'm not really either because of my height and stuff like that, right? So people have said to me, "Oh, like you're quite aesthetic."
I get it.
You're quite aesthetic for an open guy, and you must have just stopped getting big. Like you got to this size, and actually, this is me trying to be as big as I can.
Yeah.
Like
I get you.
I didn't stop here. I'm trying as fucking hard as I can, and this is where I got. And people assume that classic guys are sort of like, pumping the brakes, and no,
Yeah.
you're going for it just like everyone else, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
I don't know.
100%.
Again, it's opinions, isn't it?
And I'm not even trying to, I'm not being about, like I said, I've never been about trying to be the biggest guy anyway. I've never been that. It's all been about balance and aesthetic for me anyway. And that's not just saying that to say it. That's the fact. I've never got no desire to be massive and big. So, yeah.
But you eat in a surplus of food in a growth phase. You
I'll
train
do
as hard
everything
as you
like
can.
everybody else does.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no difference. That's
And,
it.
and that's the same as me. There's no difference between what I'm doing versus what, like, fucking, let's just say, Big Rami's doing. But he looks like that, and I look like this.
Yeah.
Like I train as hard as I fucking can.
It's annoying. Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely.
I feel like this as well with some of the categories, maybe more so females, I don't know. But, people have said to me, would you go up to figure? And again, like you framed it, Mark, are you going to progress? And I'm like, well, I am fucking progressing. But, people see it as this. And I found that, there is a bit of a divide between bikini and everything else, which is fine. But I've always said, back to what we've said with earning the right, I literally voice note Jack about this earlier. I will not step on a figure stage unless I'm figure. Like, and you can't. This is the thing. People go, "Well, I'm figure or I'm wellness." No, you're a fucking under dieted bikini athlete, bro. Like, people have this like entitlement to
Yeah.
be a certain category. Earn the fucking right and step on stage in that criteria in that category. There's no way I'm stepping on a figure stage going, "Oh, I think it's all right." Absolutely fucking
No.
not.
It needs to
And
be undeniable, doesn't it?
100%.
like
Yeah.
you've got to fucking earn that right. Like, you're just taking the fucking piss.
So many girls who just carry more body fat on their bums and thighs say,
Wellness.
I'm wellness. I'm
Yeah,
wellness.
UK amateur division
Yeah.
wellness. You are not
It's
wellness. I'm
like,
sorry, but
No.
you're not.
you might
You've just
want to
got-
be wellness,
Yes.
but like you're underestimating how big you
It's the ones
actually
that
have to
make
be.
the excuse. It's the ones that
It's-
take the excuse to do the pictures, the posing pictures online and post them with the butt
Yeah.
sticking out. That's
Yeah.
the best ones. That's the best one.
This is the thing, though.
Any excuse.
When you see actual wellness, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that is fire.
They're
I
Oh,
big.
yeah.
fucking
Very
hell.
fucking
This-
big.
Insane.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is like creme de la creme. And I think, why would you ever want to try and imitate that and do such a job? Like, respect yourself. I'm not trying to, have a go at
Yeah.
it, but there's the
Yeah.
And,
Guys come
it's
to
fat
me.
distribution. Sorry, Jack. It's fat distribution, is it? A lot of women tend to hold fat there, so it gives them this false sense of how much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then you
When
diet
they-
down and you're like,
When they die down, they've lost it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Jack? Sorry, man. I cut you in. Sorry.
But a lot of guys come to me and they're like, I want to turn pro in body classic. So I'm thinking like in a couple of years or whatever. They grossly underestimate it. It's like, No, it's like you still gotta spend a lot of fucking time growing. Those classic guys are big. They're fucking massive.
Oh
Have
my
you
God,
seen?
son.
Yeah, have you seen Mike? Fucking Mike
Huge.
Barras. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the amount of muscle he's carrying. Or Wesley Vizzes. Like you stand next to these people, you're fuck. I remember,
It's huge.
standing next to these people, like meeting Wesley and thinking, wow, I need to get so much bigger
Oh,
Yeah.
because
I was backstage when I turned pro in Ireland, and obviously the classic pro show was on that day. I stood there scratching my fucking head, thinking,
Yeah.
holy
Um,
shit, this is
yeah,
what I've got to come. So I mean,
this
it's
is
still a
this is
lot.
kind of my point with the comments when they're like, "Oh, did you just stop getting that big?" Like with your physique. People dramatically underestimate how long muscle takes to
I've got
build.
plenty of growing to do.
Oh
Plenty.
yeah, people don't realize how big, for example, Wesley Business is. I don't think you quite get it.
No,
Because he's
no,
classic, he's smaller. No,
no.
like
no, no,
he's
no.
huge.
People,
Even men's physique now, like
Yeah,
some
Yeah,
of
true.
them, it is
100%. Yeah,
fucking mental for men.
yeah,
Like, and also, like, if that's your entry level, we were talking about fit model last time, right? Like, if
yeah,
men's physique's the first port of call, it's like obviously you could be an amateur and be a very good amateur, but the pro I think bloody hell,
Mm.
yeah.
fuck.
Again, you don't. It's a bit like hard training. You only train hard when you train hard, right? Like I think you said it, Sarah. Was that
Yeah.
you don't really know proper size until you've been around it.
but yeah,
You don't because
I
like
think
down your gym, everyone thinks you're quite big.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's
Or
not the
when
same.
when you're in your first prep and everyone's like, "You're so lean," and then you get to the show and you're like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
"Oh, everyone said at the gym said I was lean. My mum said I was really lean." Oh
Yeah,
no.
I
exactly.
think people underestimate how extreme bodybuilding is, like competitive bodybuilding is. And this is why you have a bunch of people thinking Sam Sulek's going to win the Arnold, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, people, it's like, nah, man, he's great for, how long he's been doing it and whatever. He's on a really good trajectory, but fuck me. These
Hmm.
guys at the Arnold are crazy, crazy. The size, the conditioning that they're getting into, the how they pose, it is professional. It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the definition of professional.
In fact, that's it.
Uh,
Yeah, definition of it.
yeah,
He was exposed when he was next to Wesley. It was like amateur v pro. It was
Yeah.
so different.
yeah, because it's just about time paying the dues, and he's doing things right, but it's just time, right?
In another 5 years, maybe.
Yeah, I like the worst is when I've had people like call up to me and they go, do you reckon you're bigger than Sam Sulek? And I'm like,
Freddie,
fuck.
telling me this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I reckon you
Oh.
might be, the same. I'm like, no, man, shut up, go away, don't speak to me. Fuck. Like,
I have fucked this.
yeah, I should be. I fucking should be,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
Uh,
here's the weird one though, because people get the two mixed up, right? So it's people mistake height for how big you are.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
how much muscle you've got, Jack? Because what you're 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". What are you?
5'8".
5'8". Yeah, so you're not big in stature and
No,
structure,
no.
but you're in terms of muscle mass, it's ridiculous. You know?
Density.
It's
Density.
it's yeah, like if you look at Terrence Ruffin, right?
Mhm.
You'll see he will look like, oh, he's not that big, but he whips his kit
He's
off.
so
He's
cool.
crazy,
Right.
crazy. It's like bubbly muscle hanging off. It's the same with Dexter Jackson,
So
um,
cool.
or
So
even
cool.
Lee Priest. These guys, they're just so fucking muscular. Big example was what's his name? Sean Clarida, right?
Oh.
Seeing him in person, I remember this that show really highlighted what professional bodybuilding was about, right? Because I saw him, and anyone could just go, "Oh,
Crazy in
I'm
it.
bigger than him," right? And
Yeah,
standing next to him, right? And you know, he gets addressed, he's hitting poses. I look at him like, how the fuck has anyone ever beaten that guy? Jesus Christ, you know,
yeah,
it's insane. But
yeah,
he doesn't like the best bodybuilders don't look the biggest. It's crazy.
yeah.
They're not that. I used to think this. I used to think the biggest guy in the gym, right, with stature, whatever, they're obviously the best bodybuilders. and it's not that. Again, that show really taught me what bodybuilding was about, because I remember I'm thinking, God, I've competed against bigger guys when I was an amateur than these guys. It's like Chris Bumstead, right? Like, he doesn't look massive until he's posing, and it's crazy. But obviously, he's light years ahead of 99.9% of bodybuilders.
Yeah,
You know?
but it's proportions, isn't it? It's the bodybuilding's always been an illusion.
Yes, yeah, exactly that.
How big can you appear to be as opposed to how big actually are you? Because if it was about size, yeah, Marcus Rule would have been a multiple winner, multiple time winner, you know. What's his name? Paul Dillette would have won multiple Olympias, you know, but it's not about that. But Sean Ray was beating Paul Dillette, and that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Fuck. It is crazy. I think bodybuilders, the best bodybuilders don't look like the best bodybuilders. You know?
Do you know the other one as well? When you turn up on show day, look. I remember Kevin Levrone said it. I think Kevin Levrone said it. Look at the faces, and you can tell who's going to be right. If somebody's puffy, they're not a threat. They're out of it. It's when somebody's really, you can tell that they've dieted really hard.
Skull face.
Yeah, when they've got a skull face, you're like, ooh.
And they still got the jackets on or the hoodies on, and I thought, here we go.
Fully clothed, shriveled up in the corner, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
if you look small in your jacket, you're probably going to be good, right?
Yeah.
If you look super full and full.
Yeah.
That's the best backstage head fuck, that is.
It is. This is why I don't really pay attention, because again, like, because I don't have the biggest structure or whatever. So I go backstage, and I'm like, I feel like a kid, you know. It's like it's kind of like, well, we'll see what fucking happens, and sometimes it's like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. But
hey, I tell you what, like, but at the expo, us three were all stood there, and with clothes on, I look bigger because I'm taller and I've got wide clavicles. That's why I was getting people stopping me. But actually, I even said it on the day. I was like, these guys are both higher level than me. But people were stopping me because of my height. Yeah. And it's not the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You are very big, though.
You are very big.
You are very big.
Big Mac.
I'm quite big, but I think largely it's like, yeah, I've got wide clavicle and I'm tall, but I don't know. But I think
it's that, what was it like? What's that? What do you call it? When you just when you stop and you see something, it's like that thing. I don't know what the word is now.
It's like a shock factor in it. Oh,
yeah, it's a shock factor. Yeah, there's that shock factor.
Yeah.
It's when I also find this with, like you say, if we deem success as accolades, as it were, it's like people look for that, right? Like, as we were saying earlier, I remember there's a guy, whatever. A boy at the gym, and he was like, "Oh, why haven't you got in your Instagram bio that you won Miss Universe and that you're a WABA pro?" I was like, "Huh? Why do I need to put it in my fucking bio?" Oh, so you take it seriously then? I'm like, what? Because it's the validation, isn't it? You've got to put, "I won Miss Universe," and then you'll go, "Oh, okay, so you deserve to be in the gym then. You deserve to be a bodybuilder."
In the modern society, though, it is currency, isn't it? It's currency. If you get eyes to your page, it's currency, ultimately.
So I just think, for fuck's sake. I mean, it showed me that I'm just doing it for myself. I was like, okay, bro, whatever. I ain't changing my bio, so cool.
How quickly did you boys change your thing to IFBB Pro, though, from when you got?
I've seen these reels.
Was it within 2 minutes or was it within a day?
About 2 hours, I think.
It was within the week. I was
but I got people telling me to do it, though. A few of my mates saying, "Come on, when are you doing it?" I'm like, really? But we spoke about this before, didn't we? About the whole me finding it all very cringy and that. But had I not done that, as I said, it wouldn't have opened all the doors for me that I've opened. So
that's it. I mean, especially when you're more, your own brand, so to speak, it does add to that. I don't know. I was happy to do it. I was like, yeah, cool. I feel like that is like, quite proud to go. I remember thinking ahead. It was like, right, one of the things I was going to do was like, this time next year or at the end of a prep, I'm going to have such and such IFBB Pro, right? It was like one of the things that I was visualizing, manifesting as well as holding the cord as well as one of the things is one of the boxes to tick. Just because, I've been thinking about that for fucking years, it was like,
Yeah.
I want to get this. That's going to be, it's
It's
like
okay.
buying a
But
new car.
and so had I. I'd thought about it as well. Like I said, it was only cringy because of the fact people have made it think that it's cringy because the
Mm.
non-pros are the ones who haven't been able to do it are always putting posts up, saying how
That's
fucking
it.
cringy it is, and it's
But this
made me
is
think the same. But like I
this
said,
is
No,
where this is what I mean with the cringe society. It's like, why not be proud
yeah,
of your shit, like or be passionate or whatever the fuck it is. There's a lot of people that will say if you're passionate or proud or whatever the fuck it is, that it's and people are just taken away from. It's like, what's wrong with being happy that you've done something? You could be anything, right?
That's
yeah,
your choice, though, isn't it? Rather than like someone saying, "Well, you should have it. You should do this," and
Oh no, no, yeah, yeah, for sure.
like it's like that was almost the validation that you're talking about, Ryan, with, oh, you're the biggest guy. It's like, and I think maybe that was a bit of a woman thing as well, because he turned out he's a bit of a fucking weird pervert. But anyway, it was just like, oh right, so you take this
Mm,
seriously. Why isn't it in your bio? And it's
yeah,
like, again,
little
don't
bitch.
fuck it. Yeah, I don't need to do any of this.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
I just
I,
they
I
should
agree. Like, if you want to, fucking,
there shouldn't be any shame in it. And do you know what? Like, to go off on the thing we said earlier, if you get external validation and you're happy about that, that should be a good, like, so what?
yeah.
yeah.
So what, man? Like, it's like being proud of your achievements and sharing that with the public and your friends. Great. Like, I'm all for it. All
So
for it.
I find in the UK there's this tall poppy syndrome, right, where people try to fucking humble other people when they're
Yeah,
trying to go for something or trying to be successful in an endeavor. There seems to be it's like this effort to sort of humble people or bring them down. Um, and I find that that's more so prevalent in the U because
yeah, I
this is
agree.
from what I've heard. Like in America, it's all like, oh, you can aim for the stars and everything's great. You can be anything you want. And the UK is a little bit like the opposite. It's like, you know, like for some reason, again, it's a little bit cringy to be proud of something.
It's
And
human psychology, that, man. It's human psychology. I think
Yeah, it's a
it's
yeah,
like,
British thing. Well, it's a British thing as well, though, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
for sure. But I think it's like, be good, but don't be too good, right? The moment you're too good, then
yeah,
I
yeah,
need to let you know that you're.
yeah,
yeah,
and
the
it's
first
yeah,
people that you'll see out at a show or something, they'll be like, "All right, mate, I haven't seen you for ages," and
yeah,
they're fucking, I've had that loads of times, and
and
I think people
and
are assholes. Like,
people are assholes, man, and it's the danger of that is you actually start humbling yourself and you start
true,
putting a
mate.
caveat with things that you've done. It's
True.
like, yeah, but I've done this thing, but yeah, but he was actually
Yeah.
this. I don't
Yeah,
feel like I'm that actually. I'm not anyone special or blah blah.
don't compliment me.
It's
no,
like
that's so true, Jack. That's so true, mate. I found myself obviously being in an area where I'm from as well. Like, not many people doing this shit, and being the only kind of pro in the area as well. It just isn't celebrated or isn't respected as much or whatever. But it's like it's weird. I go somewhere else, people are like, oh my god, you're this, you're that, and
Did you find
it's
yourself putting yourself down then as well?
yeah, massively, mate, massively.
Yeah. I only go, well, it's no big deal. It's like, no, fuck that. It's such a shame to
it
be like,
is. Yeah, because you watering down the very thing, and you wonder why you could feel numb to the things that you accomplish because you're watering it down. It's like, well, I only got this because of this, and it's this, that, and the other. It's like, no, I did this thing and I earned this thing, and
Yeah,
I was really good at it, and I'm proud of myself because this is something I've worked hard for, and I've done it. And you can use that mindset to carry you further with self belief. But if you water it down too much, like you just constantly got to be. You give yourself a bit of complex, or you're not registering your own thing, so it never feels fruitful or fulfilling.
true.
it's like people celebrate being humble, though, don't they? Like hashtag be humble and stuff like that. I don't know, like, which is fucking annoying. But I think there's a fine line because no one wants to see some arrogant cocky prick, right? But also be proud of what you've done. Like,
Yeah.
we've in this group here, we've all achieved stuff that we should be proud of, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's only when you're pushing it in people's faces, which obviously we would never do.
But I find it's also the same as differences. Virtue signaling and actually being virtuous is where people are just constantly trying to appear that they're a good person, but behind the scenes they're not actually great. It's like, I'm great, blah blah blah. It's like someone who's like constantly, I'm humble, but they're not really. They're just secretly thinking that they're better than everyone else, and it's like, they're just actually humble bragging. And they're like, oh yeah, no big deal, but blah blah blah. And they're just, I'd rather someone who was just like, yeah, I did this thing, this was great, and they're just honest about it, and they're not putting on this facade. And if they're humble, they're actually humble. They're not like pretending to be humble.
You don't have to tell people. You don't have to tell people if you're humble, right? If you actually are, you shouldn't announce it.
Yeah. You can tell it's like the whole passion thing, isn't it? Like it's so fucking obvious. Like you can just tell. And when and this is why I think, the four of us just hit it off at the expo. And I know I said to all of you, I'm a hugger, but also real. And it's like, in my mind, it's like real sees real. That can be fucking toxic as fuck, or people that just like, imagine if we put in our group, I was like, oh, I'm in prep, and then I won an IFBB Pro card. Like, you'd all be behind me, be like, fucking hell, that's six there. Like, do you know what I mean? Empowering me. Like, there'd be other people that'd be like, oh, well, she only got it because it was a shit lineup. Like this type of stuff. And it's like, you find your real people. But also, when you find that, then you want to do things like we're doing this podcast, and whatever else comes, actually pouring into that and having that reciprocal vibe. But anyone listening, don't feel like you need to have a fuck ton of people in your life.
True.
That's true. I think also though, like it's just it's nice to be nice. Okay, it feels good. Like selfishly, it feels good to fucking be nice to other people, right?
I get that.
But I tell you what, in my life, I'm not going to claim to be whiter than white. There has been times where I've had to check myself because I've seen someone that got something that I felt like I should have got. Yeah, and it's happened. It's happened, and you've got to,
I think that happens to everyone. It's just how you respond to it. I feel again, it's like you. Everyone has that, but it's what it reveals about yourself. It's acknowledging what it reveals about yourself. That's the important thing, because it's like you can pretend that, oh, I never feel this way. It's like people do, and if you pretend that you don't, then you're lying. It's like, okay, you feel some way. It just means that you want that thing and you care about this thing, right? And you just use that as inspiration. As long as you check yourself, you go, right, okay, that's a me thing. Whatever. But there's a lot of people that just deny it. It's like, I don't feel this way, but fuck that guy. That guy did deserve it. I'm not being jealous or anything, but fucking hell, the judges are blind and whatever the fuck.
It doesn't feel good, man. It doesn't feel good. Like self-awareness, as you say, knowing that you did that thing that wasn't very favorable. And then, as you say, trying to look inwards, trying to have that introspective thought and think, how can I actually either not do that again or use it to my advantage? And as I say, it's nice to be nice. That person that you frown upon when they do well, flip it. Be nice to them. Don't shit on someone. Trying to shit on someone else isn't going to make your life any better. It's not going to make your life any better. So just I don't know.
Like you said, it's nice to be nice. It's surprising how good that would actually feel, and you never know, you might get addicted to being fucking nice.
I know, and kindness, it's not weak. Like when you are kind to people, I've had it, for a long time where it's like, people then start to take the piss, and you have to acknowledge how people take your kindness, because I quite like to say that I am an authentically kind person. I want to help people and see people succeed. People shit on that. Again, another message: don't give up on people. I told this to Jack when we first met. I was like, don't give up on people, because your people are there. If you are being kind, if you are being nice to people, and that doesn't get met with the reciprocal vibe that you maybe want, there's still going to be people out there. Don't let those fuckers take you, and it's hard.
Don't let it dilute your your passion for trying to be nice and trying to be supportive. Don't let other people's negative views change that, because that's such a nice thing to have. It's such a nice thing to have, and it'd be a shame to get it squashed.
Just be weird. One fucking vibe hard, my people. Vibe hard.
I feel like I want to give you all a big hug now.
I know, right? Imagine it's like an after party, and where it's like 5 a.m.
Loved up to fuck.
Everyone passing the plate around.
We've just done a massive like rave on MD, and then we get the ket out, and we're like, guys, I fucking love you.
No, honestly,
I love you. Honestly.
Can I touch you, please? I'm not being weird, but can I touch you?
No, I've been thinking this for ages, and I think you're one of the best people I've ever met in my fucking life.
Yeah, I've always loved me and you. Like, you know,
we're the same, bro. We're the same, bro.
Same people.
Can you feel that?
It's like that, like you're like we're talking from our soul. I see you, and you know those chats in the fucking freezing cold outside a rave. You're like, best mate for life.
They're the ones that the next day make me go, oh fuck,
yeah.
And then when that person next calls me, if I see their name, I'm like, oh no.
It's like,
especially if it's you grafting on a bird, not okay. It's like, oh god, I told her she's the only woman that I've ever felt this way about. I love it. So our next meeting will be fucking getting on the MD and having some ket then.
Oh fuck me. Well,
count me in.
I reckon.
So, but remember we spoke about this, Mark. We have the personality, and you'll be taking more than all of us, and you might end up in hospital.
She'll shoot me.
Do you know what? I actually had an opportunity to go to Rhodes. A friend of mine who I used to get on it with back in the day. He's not a bodybuilder. He was like, "Hey mate, it'd be great to catch up. I'm going on a little break to Rhodes, near Faliraki. Do you want to come for your birthday?" And I was like,
yeah, I know.
I said no because I knew the way it would turn out. It would have turned out like this fucking podcast just now.
It's heavy. It's so nowadays.
Can't do it.
Being older.
I don't know.
I can do it, but I'm in some fucking weird.
I've got my 40th coming up, right? And I just feel like I'm really thinking like I need to be done. I need to get out of my system. I need to do it. So look out.
What I say with drugs, if you've got an intention and you get a pull, you can use drugs for this. You can use it and have the fucking exploration that they open. If you're not in a good space, do not do class A's, my people. Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Oh, are we talking about drugs here? Oh, sorry. I didn't realise.
Oh, you're talking about steroids.
So Mark, what have you got planned for your 40th then? What's the idea?
Mate, I'll be honest, a bit of Ibiza's floating around at the moment, only because I've been for years, and I need a party, not like a celebration of my 40th. I need just like to fucking this is my 40th. I need to do it with a style. Do you know what I mean? One of them.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
So I don't really want to make a big plan either, because if you do that, it all turns fucking tits up. So I'd rather just do it, like have an idea or a couple of ideas, and everyone that wants to come and join, let's do it, decide, and go.
Yeah, I get you.
Fucking love it.
Offers there if everyone come.
I'm nervous already.
Yes.
Ryan's going to fucking Ibiza.
I've never been to Ibiza.
Back in the day, I've given myself some. Oh god, I feel like I'm going to be such a twat saying this. I've given myself PTSD from doing too many drugs. I swear to God.
I get that. I understand that.
Genuinely, when I think about it, because for 10 years of my life, I was fucking.
Yeah, mate.
You know,
we're the same age, right? I kind of get that, believe me, mate.
Is there any part of you that's nervous?
Yeah, a little bit. Of course it is.
I feel like what I get nervous about is, when you, like when I take something like MD, the taste initially like wrapped in and then I get nervous about that come up when you're like,
it's on its way. It's on its way.
Yeah, and when you come up really hard and you're like, and then you're like, oh.
What was I worried for?
Even talking about this, I've got sweaty palms. I swear to God.
It is.
I feel like I haven't done enough drugs.
My butthole's winking already.
Jack, did you never have the older? Did you never have that face, Jack?
Era.
Not really. I mean, there's
still
been
time.
like a handful of times, but yeah, I've not had like a get on it phase. There's like, oh, let's try this. It's cool. Yep, nice. But I've tried tried MD and stuff like that, but I've not had like a phase because I just literally fell into bodybuilding when I turned, well, as soon as I left school, really, you know. So that's just taken over.
Yeah.
It's like
I think
I've
times have
had,
changed a lot, though, haven't they, as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
It
It
seems
was.
that way, Mark. Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean, I
37
spent,
as well, so I guess I'm similar. I'm similar age.
Yeah.
So I hopefully, Mark, you can agree. When I got out of school, no one that I knew, literally no one that I knew, was a proper bodybuilder.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like there was maybe one or two in the gym, but I
It
didn't
was
know
the
them.
same with me. It was the same with me. Like this was before, right before it kicked off with social media, it became a popular thing. I remember being in college and people were like, "Yo, this guy must be very autistic because he's prepping his meals and he's doing everything like
And they were
normal."
bang on.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was
They
like,
had an inclination.
and then they
Yeah.
were like, bodybuilding was still a bit of a weird thing, and then not long after it became a bit more popular.
Mainstreamy.
Yeah, yeah,
There was no.
It feels like if you're like a Gen Z, like you grew up into it and you never have the crazy phase, whereas the older lot, the millennials tend to
Millennials,
have
yeah.
that crazy. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It was normal,
100%.
like it was so. I mean, I'd go out on the shit 4 or 5 times a week and work in a bar, like, and then go to fucking all the big raves and like it was certainly an era for me where it was just like, and I feel like I sort of got out of my system and then kept it in a bit. Like I went to Croatia to a rave 6 weeks out from a show. That was quite cool.
Yeah, did something
Globally,
similar.
red liquor, fucking stress drop off. It was a vibe. But now I'm like, I'd have to think about it for about fucking 3 months. But it's nerve-wracking, like you say, Ryan.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
Can't,
yeah.
I'm not the same guy I used to be. I used to be very much like, fuck it.
Fuck it, fuck it. Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm
I'll be,
not a
I'll
fuck,
let,
I'm not a fucking guy anymore. I need like give me about a year notice, please. And then
yeah.
I'll still say no.
I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. I had a little thing on when I finished a job early on Wednesday, just been. And by Thursday, I was, for some reason, something that was in my head, I was looking at flights to Ibiza for the Friday. This has just gone.
Oh wow.
And got to Friday morning, the flight was at 5:30. And there was some spaces of like, am I doing this or what? Am I doing it? I messaged on my mate that was out there, messaged a couple of lads who potentially could come with me, only because I've had a little bit of a, I don't know, midlife crisis, whatever you want
yeah.
to. At the very last minute, I talked myself out of it, so I could have been coming home from Ibiza today. But like you said, I got a shit myself, and I'm like, nah, I talked myself out of it.
It's
Right.
nice
I
to
thought-
hear that I'm not alone on that. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
do treat myself. I do.
I thought I'd be doing something really cool and brave, being solo, doing it like everyone thinking, oh, this guy's cool, he's got some guts doing that. But no, ultimately, I just shit myself.
Yeah, man. Relatable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, weed's been my main thing. I've just been fucking too stoned to do it. Really.
I was never a weed guy. Never. Ever.
Yeah,
I had a phase. That's it.
I was always
yeah.
about the uppers. The uppers, not the downers.
I was
Same.
high when I turned pro, and I was high with Prague. I was high on stage of Prague, and I was like, okay, I need to stop doing this because no, it's becoming a thing.
Oh
Well,
man,
I'm
fuck.
fucking being high as fucking. Yeah, man. Crazy. Right, I think we've been on for
2 hours.
2 horas.
yeah,
Die
that's
hour.
long.
Time flies when you're enjoying yourself, guys.
I have
Sick.
stayed for the whole time this time. Look, I'm here the whole thing.
Yeah, there we go. So, has anyone got anything to leave off with?
Always vibe fucking hard.
I could maybe get my cock out or something. I don't know. Is that too much?
Yeah, go on.
He's vibing hard.
Best to last.
OnlyFans link in the bio required.
Boom, boom,
He
boom.
ramped up his production line. So if you
Oh, did I tell you, Ryan? I
Yeah, go on.
got my bloods done.
Oh yeah. Oh, from
Yeah, so do you know where my testosterone was?
Oh, go on.
2.5.
Oh wow. Well, as in, so that's now.
Yeah, so that was I had them done last Thursday.
What,
No,
were you taking
Thursday
duds or
before.
something, man?
Well,
He was
yeah,
taking the duds.
yeah.
Was it all bunk gear?
Yeah, because I was on 200 test, 200 primo at the time. So my whole phase I've done not even natty, it's like beyond natty.
Below now, yeah.
You're a
Shit.
female.
Yeah,
How are you
Yeah.
still fucking going?
And so Kevin Levrow was killing me off when I was like
I was there.
an asexual. Yeah, like no fucking dirt low test. Mad.
Have you actually been able to get a boner in the last like month or two?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
surprisingly, yeah.
Oh wow,
But-
okay.
But it's been like hesitant. I've had to have a conversation with it. Come on, man.
Talk him into it nicely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not usually alerting me. You know, usually it's like, hey, I'm here. I'm your penis. You know, it's just been a lot easier to forget about my penis. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Which is
Yeah.
actually quite good because it makes you more productive, right? You don't fucking get.
Well,
You know,
I thought I was fucking locked in, man. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Did
I'm
you
so
not
locked in.
feel like hormonally fucking low and depressed or anything like that? Or was it just a
Yeah, I
complete
felt
shock?
horrendous, mate. Yeah, I felt fucking awful. But you know, it was just I was carrying on. I was like, "Wow, this is a whole phase sound." You know,
Isn't
I was
that
also
fucking worrying, that though?
I was also
Yeah.
trying to diet throughout as well. So I was dieting, I had no fucking tests, and I was
Fuck.
just like cracking on.
well, mate, you've been sorted out now from that dude, right? So you'll be all good.
Yeah, so
Stuff's really good, mate, and your body's gonna fucking explode as well now.
yeah,
it.
mate. So I was looking at the pictures. And I was like, that's not great. And then, you know, realizing that, I was like, that's a lot better. So this is why you've got to get your shit tested.
Okay.
And
I was going to say that it's just worrying at what we're doing, what I'm realizing. I mean, you've had a lucky escape there, to be honest.
yeah, well,
That's your
this
bit
is
of advice.
Not even a
happened to
lucky
me
escape,
twice
but
now. This has happened to me twice now. So I've basically spent most of my shit fucking nutty.
Yeah, but now.
Yeah. You're going to see a steep rise now, mate. And I don't just
here
mean
we
cock.
fucking go.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yes.
He's coming to Ibiza with a whole
Oh, shit.
Fuck yes.
Next
Yeah,
podcast, live and direct from fucking Ibiza.
Let loose them vibes, bro. Just go.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Right, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll do it again.
Thank you very much,
Avengers
mate.
assemble. Goodbye.
Peace, everyone.
Catch you later, guys.
Peace out.
See you later.
Peace out.